Here.
Awesome. Well, it is 7:06, so we will go ahead and get jumped in. I'll welcome people in the chat as they come into the room. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. We are so excited to present you this amazing information about mood and mental wellness, essential oils and nutrition. And we are so blessed to have Katino here leading this talk today. And she's going to share more about herself and her involvement in the mental health space and health coaching, and tell us her story. And so I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Katino, for hosting the space, creating this opportunity to teach this work through the lens of mood and mental wellness. And we're just so excited for tonight's talk. And I'll go ahead and unpin us and spotlight you and let you dive in. And if you want to start with sharing your story, that would be so incredible. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
and thank you so much, Alyssa. I will share my screen here. Okay, sharing not what I was trying to share. There we go. Well, thanks for coming, everyone, and welcome back to some of you. I'm going to start by introducing myself. My name is Kitina Beam, and many of you came from the 90-day group that Alyssa and I are leading right now. And we're very excited to have you in our group. So thank you for joining us. I am a national board certified health and wellness coach, integrative nutrition health coach, and recovery nutrition coach. I can go on and on why and how, but I just want to focus on the most important part here. Why brain? Why is it so important? Brain is a master controller. When we have brain under control, everything else is going to be under control. Our body is so interconnected, right? I joined the space of nutrition over 5 years ago, and I was a health coach myself. After I had my third child, I really wanted to do what my soul and heart was calling me to do. And after graduating the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, my very first client was bipolar. Was it something that was a coincidence? I'm sure it wasn't, because there's no coincidences in life. 2 years later, I was a health coach, and I find myself depressed. I have three beautiful children. I have a very loving, caring, supportive husband. And here I am, not wanting to do anything, not excited about anything, just feeling blah, super plain, super flat. And one day I was sitting on my couch and crying and not knowing what to do. And I open my email and I see invitation to join this meeting that was happening like 5 minutes after I opened that email and talking about mental health and nutrition. And I was like, what the heck? I'm just going to tune in. And so I tune in, and the rest is history. For three plus years, I've been helping people use nutrition as a tool to cope with their anxiety, depression, and other mental health challenges. So, in the world of mental health, everybody knows there's biochemical aspect to our mental health, which is our brain, psychosocial and spiritual. However, in our society, traditionally, not all three are addressed. In fact, as we know, when someone gets, for example, depressed, if I were to go to a therapist, I would be offered a therapy session, and I would probably be offered antidepressants. I would not probably be asked at what I'm eating, whether I'm getting sunlight, whether I'm sleeping enough. Well, maybe they would talk to me about my sleep, about my family situation, but you get the picture. I'm sure many of you have people around you that have struggled with mental health. In fact, mm, let me ask you, guys, what do you think is what do you think personally? Like, don't worry about what I've said, and if you maybe heard me talk about this, but in your opinion, what do you think is the main contributor to emotional mental health of a human being? Why do you think people get unwell in that department? I would love to hear your what you think about it. There's no right or wrong answer, so anybody wants to share, maybe?
We'll go ahead and jump in. Hey everyone, it's Alyssa. So why do people get unwell? I think it's a combination of factors.
Hmm.
Really looking at, and I'm also very vested in this, so I'll just throw out a couple ideas. But it could be, food, it could be diet, it could be ultra processed foods, it could be environment. And if we don't have the right nutrition, we don't have the right stuff in our body, then our brain gets inflamed and we start thinking negative thoughts and we start having some feelings of depression. And so I think a lot of it stems from that, but it can also be environmental, it can be spiritual, it can be so many factors. I think financial, right, can also cause people to feel in a
Absolutely.
way, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you, Lisa. This is a very beautiful answer, and I think you touched on most points, and I agree with every single one of them. However, like bringing up back my situation, for me, it was lack of knowledge. Regardless of being a health coach, I did not know that there were certain things I could have simply twisted and changed in my life that would have helped my brain, would have nourished my brain, and I would not have this feeling of depression springing out of nowhere when everything was great in my life and I thought I was healthy and all those things. So, nutritional psychiatry is it studies how food, nutrients, and metabolism directly affect brain chemistry, mood, behavior, and mental health outcomes. And I am so grateful that this field is growing. However, we are so far from that being utilized, in doctor's office or even that knowledge is still very scarce. So I want you to pay attention today so that this knowledge you could spread, you could share with other people. So together we can make impact. We can help our loved ones, okay? Or just random people. Just help anyone and everyone who wants us to help them, all right? So mental health is a depletion problem, and I'm going to talk from biochemical perspective here, okay? I'm not going to touch spiritual, psychosocial. It's just biochemical perspective. It's not a character flaw, okay? Over 1 billion people worldwide, which is about 13% of global population, get diagnosed with mental health condition each year, which is a lot. What's really happening is chronic nutritional depletion. People are not eating enough protein, fats, vitamins, minerals. And you would say in this country, people eat a lot of meat. It's very protein heavy diet. In America, I've heard that many times. But I'll tell you what, not with the clients that I've been working. And it might seem that way. And if we start looking into it, it really is a problem. People are not getting enough protein. Then there's blood sugar instability and insulin resistance, inflammation and metabolic dysfunction, gut imbalance. We can be eating right, but if our guts are not absorbing, our neurotransmitters will not be made. So mitochondrial energy failure in the brain cells happens also because of malabsorption. And the brain is most metabolically demanding organ in the body. And when the body is depleted, the brain cannot regulate mood, focus, or emotions. So, brain, as I already said, is a master controller. What we think, feel, and believe is affected by our brain, and therefore it's not necessarily trustworthy. When our brains are well fed and are in balance, our thoughts, feeling, perceptions, and interpretations are more likely to be accurate. And when we're depleted and our brain is starving, we cannot trust our emotions. Just think about hangry, or all of us are women here. Think about a time during your PMS when you blew a little thing into such a big problem to only realize 2 days later that it wasn't a big problem at all. Who's done that? I want to hear. Please raise your hand. I know I have so many times. And then when my hormones would balance, I'd be like, whoa, it's no big deal. Everything is okay, right? So we just have to remember that not always we can trust our feelings. Um, for some reason, I can't turn my slide. I just admit someone else. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. Yes, my computer is not letting me. Oh, there we go. Okay, our brain has many functions, including calming function. It helps us relax, and GABA, serotonin, melatonin um, help us relax. Okay, and GABA and serotonin, you probably heard of it. GABA helps us calm down that anxiety. Serotonin helps our mood. Melatonin helps us sleep. So let's talk about serotonin. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter chemical messenger that affects our perception and our behavior. When our serotonin is balanced, we are in a good mood. It gives us a sense of humor. It allows us to forgive and let go of grudges. It even allows us to trust God rather than worry so much. Even our spiritual life does better when our brains are in balance. Then we have catecholamines, and they gives us energy. Catecholamines are dopamine, adrenaline, noradrenaline. Okay, it's also their neurotransmitters. Those chemicals. It gives us energy, gets us up and going, motivates us, gives us the drive, and sets us satisfaction and reward when we complete a well done job. And when our catecholamines are out of balance, we feel flat. Okay, and endorphins. Let's talk about endorphins. When we're happy, it reduces our loneliness and our grief. It's when we hug our child, the endorphins are relieved. When we fall in love, our endorphins are released. It helps us with pain. Our body has an inbuilt protective mechanism. When we get hurt, our endorphins release strongly. That's why people who have chronic pain, they are chronically depleted because endorphins keep releasing to support that person's pain. So all these functions require enough brain chemicals called neurotransmitters. Mood is chemistry plus neurology plus physiology, okay? Neurotransmitters, as I already said, there are brain chemicals messengers regulating your mood and behavior. These chemicals are not created out of thin air. Actually need to eat enough protein to be able to produce neurotransmitters because neurotransmitters are produced out of amino acids, and amino acids can only come from protein. And why those nutrients are essential that we're talking about? Because they need to come from the outside into our body. Okay? So then we have fats. Fats support brain health, hormones, cell membranes, and nutrient absorption. Then we have carbohydrates. They also provide energy, vitamins, minerals, and of course, water. And when our digestion is weak and our protein intake is low, or our blood sugar is unstable or imbalanced, stress hormones are high, neurotransmitters drop, and our mood, of course, follows. It's just biochemistry, my friends. It cannot be otherwise. This is why people can be anxious for no obvious reason, depressed without having a sad life, irritable when stressed, crave sugar, carbs, alcohol, or caffeine, be emotionally reactive when tired, and oftentimes it's not a character flaw. It is just a depletion. And that's one thing I want you to start looking at differently. When you see that your loved one is not behaving their best selves, think about maybe they are depleted. And think about, oh, my screen froze again. Every time I meet a person, it freezes. Um, anyway, this is something I want you to think about because not always we can control, because when our brains are weakened, we cannot make good choices. Oftentimes, we talk about ourselves making a bad choice or another person making a bad choice. How many of you have made a bad choice of eating a donut or something bad just because you were hungry and that did not go according to the plan? I know I've done it many times. And I also know when I set myself for success with eating properly, then I don't make those poor choices. I have more control, more willpower over my choices. Okay. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Okay. So, Mental health is not just a thought or emotion, it is biochemistry. Mood influenced by nervous system regulation, stress hormones, neurotransmitters, as we talked about, blood sugar stability, sensory input as well, including the smells. And essential oils work primarily through sensory nervous system connection. And here's a good website, um, Eating Protein Saves Lives. If you need additional resources, I just thought I'd put it here for you. And let's talk about nutrition a little bit more. So, most of us know how we need to eat, but it's hard to get all of those fruits and vegetables, the protein intake, the fruits and vegetables, and all those things. And even when we do, like when I was a health coach, when I was a breastfeeding mother, when I felt like I just couldn't do anything, I was simply depleted. I was not taking multivitamin at the time. I was not taking fish oil at the time. I thought that everything that I do is so perfect that I just don't need anything. Okay. And I have to admit, I was the person who did not believe in supplements. I felt that I could just sustain myself with cooking. I love to cook. So I cook about 3 times a day, or I used to cook 3 times a day when I was stay-at-home mom. Okay. And I thought I was doing everything right for my family, for myself, yet I was depressed. Okay. And when I started to look into it through the nutritional psychiatry perspective, I realized I needed vitamins. And first, I did not start with vitamins. I started with amino acids. Amino acids, the free form cleared amino acid that you can buy over the counter, and they can support directly your serotonin, GABA, etc. Little did I know when I just got started that it's so important to have cofactors. When we don't have enough vitamins, minerals, our proteins cannot produce those transform into neurotransmitters successfully because we need cofactors, vitamins and minerals and enzymes, all those things. So VMG plus is a next generation multivitamin. When I started out on this journey, I was taking vitamins that are half synthetic. There's plenty of great vitamins out there, okay? There's so many of them, but most of them are going to be produced synthetically, or at least part of the vitamins will be. So I never felt confident enough to for my clients to take the same vitamins for 12 months straight. And when people have mental health issues, they really need their vitamins on a regular basis. So finding VMG was really an answered prayer. Now we have fish oil. Did you know that the number one postpartum depression reason for postpartum depression is lack of it's omega-3 deficiency? It's actually conferred by World Health Organization, but is not talked about it anywhere. So, but we have this amazing E omega that is made from Norwegian wild caught fish that provides everything we need. And fish oil is non-negotiable. Everybody needs fish oil. I've only met one person in my entire life who did not need fish oil. And that was a person who cooks fish every single day. She was my client that I worked with. She lives in Dubai, and she said she cooked fish every single day or almost every single day was wild caught fish, and she also did her own testing of omega-3s and they were within range. So that's the only person that I've ever met that eats enough fish. Otherwise, if you don't eat fish 3 times a week religiously for at least a year to rebuild all your depletions, you need fish oil because DHA that's in fish oil is a primary building block of brain cell membranes. So it's so important for many things, but if we're talking about the brain, it reduces inflammation, it calms neuroinflammation linked to anxiety, depression, ADHD. It supports serotonin and dopamine functions, and it really helps with cognition and resilience. Um, it's also great for your heart. And if you're looking to lose weight, it's going to support your mitochondrial health and your metabolism, all of those things. Okay. And joints, of course, it serves as a lubricant for your joints. Um, Yes, fish oil. Everybody needs fish oil. And then we have this beautiful dual chamber probiotic. 90% of serotonin is made in our gut. And when our gut suffers or our digestion is not optimal, we cannot absorb our vitamins, minerals. Things just don't work as well. That's why we all probably need probiotic. Well, there are people that can take it for a while and get off of it, but again, most of us probably need it long term. And doTERRA has this beautiful dual chamber probiotic, uh, which is amazing because it goes into your stomach first. It populates your large intestine. Then the second chamber, it's made that way that it goes all the way down into your lower intestine and populates it there. And after a month of taking it, you will notice the difference. So my older oldest child, he is almost 15 right now. We've always had issues in the past. And honestly, this is the first year that I love to share with everyone. He did football for 14 weeks and maybe missed a day or two, where we used to miss 2 days religiously every 2 weeks or more often. I did not know what to do anymore because I felt like I'm failing as a mother, as a health coach, you know. And he's had digestive issues as a young child. And this is the first year he is on VMG, he's on fish oil, he's on PB Restore, and yes, he's also done the Revitazen, the Meta Power, because he partially did the 90-day program. And I cannot say enough great things about the supplements because we haven't changed anything except we have added doTERRA supplements instead of whatever I was using in the past and essential oils. So I'm very, 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 very grateful. And another thing that our whole family takes is Terrazyme, digestive enzyme complex. Once you turn 40, your digestive enzymes that help you break the fats, the proteins, the carbs, and the fiber, they reduce by 25%. And the older we get, the more this happens. I started this practice around Thanksgiving. And I am not when it's holidays, I'm not religious about what I eat. And I think it's been the best holiday season for me so far, and I just love it so much that I'm never gonna get off of it, at least not for a while. It reduces bloating, gas, and heaviness after meals. You can just keep it on the table when you have a steak or something heavy, you can have it with it. It improves nutrient absorption and energy, supports gut comfort, as enzyme production declines with age and helps food nourish you instead of sitting and fermenting there. It's a great, wonderful tool, all natural, to support your digestion as well. And one last thing I wanted to share with you. Many, many years ago, I was given a book. I had it here. Oh, here. If in case you want to find it, it's called Food and Behavior. It's a wonderful book. And one study that I wanted to bring and just reiterate how important it is. How important is our diet? In the study, prisoners who received supplements, all vitamins, minerals, and essential acids for around 4 months on average committed significantly fewer disciplinary offenses compared to those taking placebo. There was 35% improvement just in 4 months. And this is another study that I also was fascinated by. It was a school in California where children were either their deficiencies were corrected with either through diet or sometimes it wasn't even supplements, just the diet. But then also there were people who were giving low dose vitamin mineral supplementation, and there was 47 reduction of violent and other antisocial behavior. And this is a really fascinating study. If you want to find and read it, there was a guy with the gun in the school before just to protect the children. And it was a long-term study. And the school became so peaceful, so regulated that they never had this problem after a certain period of time. And they got rid of all the sodas, all the bad food, and it's a fascinating study. I encourage you to find it and read it in full, because you will be amazed to know how nutrition can help our brain. And that's all I have. I will pass it over to Alyssa and she will talk about essential oils.
Amazing, amazing. Wow. Let me add a spotlight here. So amazing, Katina. Yeah, we're going to keep going and then we will talk about the next steps. This is so incredible. Such amazing data that you're sharing, and I'm so curious about that study. I don't think I heard about the student study, but I've heard about the prison studies about how nutrition completely transforms what's happening inside of prisons. And there's so much more data to be shared. So thank you so much for that piece. And then I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to continue to talk about essential oils and mental health. And hopefully, this all is working here. So, um, um, there we go. Amazing. So, how many people here are familiar with essential oils? Go ahead and raise your hand, drop a yes in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the chat. Oops. We got some yeses. Everybody, yes, yes, yes. Oh, I love this. I love hearing all the yeses. Very familiar, Marnie says. Amazing, amazing. Well, we're going to ask you about some of your experiences with essential oils as we go through this piece. And I'm going to try to get my slides to go backwards, but it doesn't look like. There we go. All right, there we are. Okay, great. So we'll give you a brief overview of essential oils. Oh, Kim says you use essential oils in your reflexology sessions. How amazing. What a great way of utilizing the oils. So essential oils are highly concentrated chemical messengers from plants. They're essentially the plant's immune system. They're volatile, they're very fast acting. They can get into the blood. They can also pass through the blood-brain barrier, which is so, so potent and powerful and important about essential oils. And their biochemistry works directly with our body. I mean, as we can imagine, we eat food, they're plants, and the plants that we're eating are assimilating into the vitamins and minerals that our body needs. Essential oils has biochemical compounds that's working directly with our immune system and our body and our cells. So, one drop of essential oil contains the equivalent of pounds of plant material. And that's why some of you have noticed, I'm sure, that different oils cost different amounts of money. It's because it depends on how challenging it is to harvest that plant and how much plant matter you need to actually make the essential oils. So, a great example is 5.7 pounds of cinnamon bark to produce 1 5 ml cinnamon oil. Wow, absolutely profound. And I'm curious, does anybody know how many cups of tea does 1 drop of peppermint essential oil make? Does anybody know? Anybody know? What, or just guess? Give me your best guess. 1 drop of a. Oh, 28. Look at y'all. You are so good. I think Tina was at our class that Tatiana was teaching about that. Yeah, it's 26, 26 cups of tea. So you all are very, very close. Isn't that incredible? Just 1 drop, how powerful these essential oils are. And we could make a lot of tea for a lot of friends. So let's have a tea party and smell some essential oils. That would be so, so wonderful. So these essential oils, they interact with our brain chemistry. They interact with our nervous system and help to regulate our nervous system. They're involved in immune signaling and inflammation. And all of these systems are directly connected to mental health. So, we're going to talk about when the limbic system, when we smell essential oils, it's going directly to the brain and it can help us make shifts. Now, Katino spoke about nutrition, which is the foundation of what our body needs. It's essential nutrients that our body doesn't produce that it needs to be able to heal, to be able to repair, and to be able to build and thrive. So our body needs that essential nutrients. And when we have that and we start using the essential oils are even more potent. They become a bigger ally because they don't have so much work to do and they can really go do their jobs because our body has that essential nutrients that it needs. So we are really here to combine these two different parts, our nutrition and the essential oils together. So, essential oils actually work faster than most supplements because they are so fast acting, they get right into the cell. So, when you inhale an essential oil, you have these aromatic molecules and they travel directly through the olfactory nerve and into the limbic system. And this is the emotional and regulatory center of the brain. How awesome. So, this bypasses digestion, liver, and conscious thought even. I actually was just talking to a client today, and she was asking if she had an interference with being able to smell. If she could not smell, would she still have, would the essential oils still impact her? And what do y'all think? Do you think if you can't smell, will the essential oils still impact you if you're breathing them? Yes. Oh, y'all know. You're very good, very good. Yeah, absolutely, right? Because those molecules are still going to get into the brain. So she was very surprised and excited to hear that because she used to have essential oils, but then she didn't. She thought, maybe they aren't working, but they absolutely do work, even if you can't smell them. So this means essential oils can help you shift your mood within seconds. I see Katina over there smelling some essential oils right now. They can calm or stimulate the nervous system very rapidly. They can interrupt stress loops. How many think this sounds great, right? I'm like, yes, give me those essential oils. I want to have those interrupters, right? And stop these stress loops, right? They can support emotional regulation in real time. And so this is not a placebo, y'all. It's neurobiology. How exciting. Okay. So now we're going to dive in to some specific essential oils and ones that are really well known for supporting mental health, mental wellness, and other things, right? Because everything's connected in our body. So essential oils can support us emotionally. They can also support us physically. They play a role in all these different areas. So the first oil that we're going to speak to, and I would love anyone that has a testimonial or like loves frankincense, please raise your hand. I would love for you to share. So frankincense is known as the king of all oils. All right, it's ancient use with modern science. Frankincense was brought to baby Jesus by the three wise men, and so was myrrh and gold. So frankincense is this very ancient oil that's been used for so long. People believe that it cleared darkness or expelled evil. It contains bioactive compounds that influence the brain. I mean, I eat it with honey and like frankincense and honey. Oh, so yummy. Um, One of the compounds inside of frankincense has been shown to cross the blood-brain barrier and activate pathways that are involved with emotional regulation and calm. That's why promotes grounding, reduces emotional reactivity, supports clarity and centeredness, and is deeply calming without sedation. And ancient people used to call this called possession. Now we recognize it as uh, what ancient people called being possessed by spirits. We now recognize that this is severe nervous system dysregulation, right? And that there are ways and tools and strategies to be able to support that. So frankincense didn't expel the demons, it helped to regulate the brain. Woo, how powerful. And it's really one of those, it's known as the king of all oils because you can combine it with any other oil. It's going to have a synergetic behavior, I mean, it amplifies other oils. It also knows exactly where to go in the body doTERRA, in addition to the essential oil, we now have something called frankincense capsules with boswellic acid. Boswellic acid is another compound of frankincense, and when it's combined together, the early preclinical data shows that it upregulates and downregulates over 60,000 genes in the body. How incredible, right? I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna test it out. I'm gonna use some for myself. But it's supporting the body. And I'm sure you've seen on Instagram, you've seen some folks that have supported in decreasing tumorigenic cell masses in the brain by applying frankincense to the top of the mouth. It's been used, it helps with healing if you get a bruise or a sore. Like the number two top two oils I have is frankincense and lavender. That's my two favorite that I travel with for sure all the time. And it has such active healing. Does anybody have a really great frankincense story who's in the room? Anyone raise your hand? Oh, I see Aunt Joe's in the house. Hi, Aunt Joe. So good to see you. I got Tiara here. She's coming off mute. Actually, frankincense and honey was um, Tiara and my okay, there we go. We're gonna spotlight you. I think
Oh, you're so yeah. So I was thinking that too. Is that's kind of how we met and what lured me in was the frankincense and honey. It definitely hit a spot for me, and so I take it internally every day, and also with I had like kind of like ridgy yellowed fingernails and toenails. And so I would just rub some frankincense on there and they totally like cleared up and are smooth and white now or like
I love that.
look much healthier and strong.
Yes, 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 yes. I love that. Katina, do you have any experiences with frankincense?
Yeah, I'm very the word obsessed. I don't know is the word, but I know how it helps my mental health. When I came from the back from the country of Georgia, before I even decided to go deeper in the oils, I just learned that frankincense can help you regulate your nervous system. And it was a hard time for me. I was missing my family, my friends, and also I feel like my cortisol was higher because Georgia is a birth country of wine. And I was coming off of being there for 2 months and having wine very often with family and friends. So I felt very almost dysregulated. And it helped my nervous system so much. I just took a drop in the morning and in the evening, and I felt like I could control my emotions so much easier just from a couple applications. So I kept going with it, and I can tell the difference. I continued this practice because, as you said, it can upregulate, downregulate 60,000 um, genes, and I think it's just Earth's best medicine, and I use it preventatively as well.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing, ladies. Yes. Awesome. And Katina, I'll keep you up here with me to share some of your stories as well. So we have so yeah, frankincense, king of all oils. It's amazing. And then we have Copaiba. Copaiba is absolutely incredible for soothing the nervous system. This is like our go-to partner when we're like, oh, I'm having anxious feelings, like Copaiba. Your dog or cat's having anxious feelings or it's a little bit unstable. Copaiba. I mean, this is such a powerful, powerful ally. So it works with the brain body level, and it has endocannabinoids. It works with the endocannabinoid system, but is not, THC related or anything like that. And so it helps to reduce anxiety and support the nervous system. It supports with emotional regulation and stress resilience. And so it can calm inflammation and pain also in the body. So if you get, sores or something like that, we can use it topically on the body, and then we can also use it internally. And now doTERRA creates the essential oil, and then they also create capsules, so you can just take the capsules internally. For me, if I start having feelings of anxious, like anxious feelings or like that pressure on my chest, or I'm just a little bit kind of overwhelmed, I go take two Copaiba soft gels, and all of a sudden, in 5 minutes, I forgot that I was anxious, which is so exciting and such a blessing. And I know Tiara uses Copaiba very regularly. Copaiba actually comes from Brazil, the Amazon in Brazil, and it is also a resin. So it's similar to frankincense. It's a sister to frankincense, actually. So you're hearing a lot of the similar, some similar qualities. I see Candace raise her hand and she would like to share something. So I'll add the spotlight here for you, Candace.
Oh, okay. Hi. Yeah, I love to double up a roller of Copaiba, and then I'll roll that on the back of my neck, and then I use the frankincense stick, which I love. I love the smell of it so much. I feel like I want to eat it. That's how nourishing it feels to me when I smell it. I just am like, oh
Yeah.
my God. But I'll put the roller on and then I put this on over it and it just helps with neck pain so much.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so
Yeah,
much
I
for
love that
sharing.
too. And I do kind of a similar with the Copaiba roller on my jaw. Like,
Mm,
so when I start to get tension there, it's been very supportive and
mm,
on my neck and shoulders.
Mm.
And yeah, and then I ingest it as well. And I first heard about it when I was in Brazil. And one of the things that they said also was that it boosts your immune system. So they said if you were starting to feel sick or doing any traveling, it supports your nervous system and also boosts your immune system.
mm.
You know? Yeah.
Amazing.
I
Amazing.
also like to use it, the roller on my face too for a skincare kind of serum bump.
Mm,
So
I love that. Yes. And I'm seeing Kim, she layers it with deep blue, which is absolutely what I love to do too. What a great combo, y'all. I love what we got going on here. So powerful. So if you haven't gotten to use Copaiba, it's such a powerful ally for supporting the nervous system. And frankincense and Copaiba is a great, it has powerful synergy for the brain, brain calming, emotional regulation, and inflammation control, as we just spoke about, and making the foundational oils for mental health support. So, another essential oil that is so powerful for mental health is lavender. Lavender is one of the most clinically studied essential oils for anxiety, and the effects comparable in some studies to pharmaceutical grade anti anxiety agents. Now, if you were going to choose what to use, wouldn't we want to choose something that's natural, that doesn't have negative side effects, right? So, lavender supports GABA related calming pathways. It slows neural activity and reduces overstimulation and creates a sense of calm and safety. It also works well for overwhelm, anxiety, stress, stress-related insomnia. So I'm sure many people know that or have used lavender for sleep. You know, it's oftentimes known as that sleep oil. It supports with serotonin, supports calm, happiness, confidence, emotional resilience, endorphins. It soothes emotional pain and supports calm and pleasure. So what a powerful ally to have in our toolkit for supporting our mental wellness. It also has some other amazing, benefits, such as it's an antihistamine, so it also helps with the immune system regulation. It will support bug bites and burns. You can apply lavender directly to the skin, and it will help reduce that. MC Catino sharing in the chat that the same support, and it's not addictive and it's not depleting, and like anti-anxiety meds are. Wow. Isn't that so, so incredible? And do we have anybody that has some lavender stories? Again, that's one of my go-to oils. I'm like, okay, if I need repair, I got some frankincense and lavender. I'm gonna throw those together and boom. I was in Mexico last year and I stubbed my toe really bad and I had like a break in my toenail and I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do, right? And I'm like, frankincense and lavender. I'm like pouring it on there. A few days later, my toenail literally like reconnected to itself and like started binding and healing, and it was just so grateful, like woo. But anyone have a good lavender testimonial or story?
um,
Marnie says peppermint and lavender used together after I got burned by by hot pot prevented any blistering. Amazing.
Yes. That is one of its special talents as well. Perfect. And that segues us right into peppermint. So peppermint is really great for attention, energy, mental drive. It supports the dopamine and neuroepinephrine and epinephrine pathways. Peppermint is activating and stimulating. And the research shows that the aroma actually increases alertness, attention, mental clarity, and oops, there we go. Jumping around here. There we go, coming back. And it's powerful to support symptoms of ADHD, mental fatigue, low motivation, sluggish brain states as well. So doTERRA actually paired peppermint inside of our foundational wellness kit. When you get the VMG, the E Omegas, and the PB Restore, we send you a free shaker bottle with peppermint essential oil as well, so that you can use it in the morning as a pick-me-up. I absolutely love that. Tiara was telling me she's been doing it every single day, waking up in the morning, getting some peppermint into the airways and using it as a pick-me-up. If anybody has some peppermint around you right now, I invite you to put a couple drops on your hand and actually breathe in. I don't know if you've ever done a mouth inhalation with peppermint, but it is, wow, extraordinary. I had always done it just smelling in my nose, and the other day I did like a throat inhalation, and it was very exhilarating. It also supports with headaches, like stressful tension in the body, and it can be combined with lemon to support with fevers. Again, we have the mental emotional regulation, and in addition to all the other properties that it supports with. All right, then we have citrus oils. Yay, we have liquid sunshine for the brain. So citrus aromas support both catecholamines and endorphins, and they're known to lift mood, emotional tone, reduce stress and nervous system tension, increase motivation and mental clarity, support focus without overstimulation. How many want that? I like wild orange is one of my favorite oils of all time, and it is also the oil of abundance. And so you get that energetic lift, and then you're also just showering yourself with abundance and light. So they're ideal for low mood or emotional heaviness, stress-related fatigue, mental fog and overwhelm, morning and midday energy support. So definitely an awesome ally to have in your back pocket. My first experience with doTERRA was at a farmer's market, and Cindy Landis, she's a wellness advocate at Diamond and doTERRA, and she gave me frankincense, peppermint, and wild orange, and had me do a good inhale, a few inhales of that as an afternoon pick me up. Like, what a amazing recipe. Yes, yes, please. More of that. So don't forget to call on your citrus oils. Now we got DigestZen. DigestZen is amazing, and I know we have so many testimonials in the house for DigestZen. Um, Gut calm equals brain calm. Okay, so about 90% of serotonin is produced inside of the gut. And digestion then supports mental health by improving your digestion, nutrient absorption, and that means more serotonin, dopamine, and GABA. It helps to reduce bloating, cramping, and gut tension. It activates the vagus nerve, shifting the body from rest and digest and calming gut driven inflammation that fuels anxiety, low mood, and brain fog. Okay, so this is a perfect ally. As we're continuing to work on our gut, get those essential nutrients, sometimes we need more support to create balance. So does anybody have a quick story about DigestZen that you might want to share? Oh, we got Candace in the house. Oop, I'll add spotlight. There you go.
Um, I am always amazed whenever I have any kind of, stomach ache or bloating or maybe some gas. I'll put a drop in water and I drink it and stir it up and drink it. And I mean, it's like within 5 to 10 minutes, it's gone. It's just gone. It's just incredible.
Right. Thank you so much. And the gut stress can be so debilitating sometimes, right? Where if our stomach's upset, we're not working at our best. We're not performing or doing the things that we want to do because we're concentrating and our body's concentrating on supporting our tummy. So this is a perfect ally for that. Ooh, now we got the adaptive, which is the grounding blend with all these beautiful different partners of wild orange and rosemary, copaiba, spearmint, lavender, magnolia. Adaptive, does anybody go ahead and drop a yes in the chat if you've used adaptive in your practice of using essential oils? This is for stress resilience. It calms an overactive stress response. So it helps the brain downshift from fight or flight into resting state. It supports with emotional regulation during overwhelm, worry, and tension. It encourages parasympathetic nervous system activity. So that's rest, calm, and clarity. Helps quiet mental chatter and emotional reactivity. And it promotes a sense of grounding, steadiness, and resilience. Wow, I've got tons of messages in the chat. Absolute favorite, Kim says. That's my most favorite oil. Yes, love adaptive. Let's go. And if you didn't know, there's an entire adaptive system where you have the adaptive oil and you also have adaptive capsules that you can take internally. And so this can also be such a powerful non-pharmaceutical ally for stress, anxiety, depression, symptoms of ADHD, all these different things to help support with that regulation. Put Copaiba, some frankincense, and some adaptive capsules together. You're going to be definitely heading in the very right direction for your body to create that mental, emotional resilience and ease. All right. And then we got balance. How many love balance as well? So, balance is our grounding blend. Yeah, it promotes a whole body sense of relaxation for grounding experiences. Breathe it in deeply. You can begin your day by putting balance on the bottom of your feet. And I know, Katino, you were telling your story about this last week. Go ahead and share your story because it encouraged so many of us to actually start putting balance on the bottom of our feet in the morning. I would love to have you share that again.
Sure. The reason I love balance so much, when I had my first doTERRA talk with people, I brought balance and we had a practical application right on the spot. I asked my friend to lead a practice where we were stretching, relaxing, breathing. We were turning away from each other. It was at the end of the day. And I remember maybe you had 12 people in a circle, and I went around and gave balance drops in everybody's hands. And we smelled them. Whoever wanted put them on their feet. And oh my goodness, the testimonials I had. I think every single person got balance after that. They all asked me what that oil was. They wanted it. And yeah, these testimonials were just like massive, they can create this massive momentum. I don't have a single balance right now, which thanks to the reminder, I need to add it to my next order because I love gifting it so much. I'm yet to meet a person who doesn't love balance. Yeah, it's a
Wow.
great way to start your day. Put it on the bottom of your feet to end your day, to wind down, put it on. And I have a friend, actually, a client slash friend. She puts it on her heart. She has heart palpitations. She
Mm,
gets like this, anxiety in the evening. She used to get it. She doesn't get it anymore, thanks to essential oils. And
wow.
she just was rubbing it on her heart, and she said it instantly calmed her heart down. So this is a wonderful, wonderful blend.
Wow.
Mm,
How
yeah.
powerful. How powerful. Oh my
Beautiful.
goodness. Thank you so much for sharing,
Mm.
Candace.
Oh, I also love balance and I like to make the roller bottle and I'll keep it right by my door to when I'm going to leave the house. I feel like that's always an upsurge in activity and I'm a nester, so it's a little bit of it's a stressor. It's just a stressor to me. I have to leave the house now, even though I want to leave the house. So I keep that there. And so it helps me by my shoes because then I remember to put it on my feet. And even if I have socks on, I'll like take the socks off, put it on, put my socks on. And then I'm like, it gives me that extra grounding that I truly need when I leave the house and jump into rush hour or something like that, you know.
Hmm. Amazing. I love that. Yes. And the feet is, has reflexology sites that communicate with the rest of our organs and our body. And our feet are highly porous. So when we put the essential oils on the bottom of the feet, they can very quickly also enter into our bloodstream and get to the rest of our body. And that's why the bottom of the feet is one of the number one places to add the essential oils. Amazing. All right. So, real quickly, 4 ways to use essential oils. We have inhalation, where you can smell them, inhale, like we've been seeing Katino do over there. We can diffuse the essential oils. So, I don't have a diffuser next to me. It's a little bit out of arm's reach, but diffusing it helps to get the oils into an entire room. It uses a little sonic plate that vibrates, and the essential oils are volatile, meaning that they move, and it makes the molecule smaller so that it can actually fill up a room and give the room the essential oils. We can use them topically, and the oils are quickly absorbed into the skin. Oftentimes, we're diluting our essential oils with a carrier oil because that increases the absorption of the essential oil. Because oils are so volatile that they evaporate kind of like alcohol evaporates. If you ever have rubbing alcohol and it evaporates up. So, using a carrier oil can help ground those oils into the skin and into the body. Now, we can also use some essential oils. If you see on the bottle that it says, actually, I have yarrow palm right here. If it says essential oil supplement on the bottle, you can use that oil internally. And typically, we use one to two drops under the tongue. Or you can put some in a capsule, and you can also put the oils in a small glass of water and drink them really quick. So for me, like DigestZen is a really strong flavor, so I want to drink that baby down real quick, or put it with some honey, or I put it in a capsule so I don't have to have so much of the bright flavor that is there. So many amazing ways that we can use the oils. And now, so we have foundational wellness. And I think we're kind of wrapping things up. Yeah, so we're going to share. So I'm so grateful we've gotten to share with you all of the like some of the core essential oils that we really think pair magically with emotional and mental health, and longevity to support your body, to support your state, in that healing and that nervous system regulation, and combining that with the essential nutrients that Katina was talking about. We really have a powerful way to support our body and its healing. Now, no, the results, like I've there's no silver bullet, right? It takes consistency. So our encouragement is that you consistently show up, you consistently use your foundational wellness, you consistently use the oils to support you, as an ally so that you can fully feel the effects of these. And so today, I know a lot of the guests that are here, you are already customers of ours or part of our team. But if you are not yet a doTERRA customer, then right now I would love for you to reach out to the wellness advocate that invited you here tonight. Shoot them a text and let them know what really stood out to you. What are those essential oils that you know that really resonated with you, that you know that can support you on your daily journey? Uh, did the foundational wellness, did that really stand out to you to help fill in those nutritional gaps? I know that our whole team, Katino and Tiara and Candace and I, we're all on a mission to support our community in getting the essential nutrients that the body needs so that it can heal, so that it can repair, and so that the body can really thrive and we can all live our best lives. And we're pairing that with the essential oils to really help enhance our mood and our healing. And so we would love to support you in taking the next step, to get essential oils into your home, to get these essential nutrients into your home. And so go ahead and reach out to whomever invited you to this class and let them know. what you think, and they will connect with you and support you in taking those next steps. If you already are a customer and you need support in your loyalty rewards order and getting some of these oils or supplements into your order, the advocate that invited you here tonight can support you with that process as well. And so I would love to open up the floor. I'm going to go ahead and stop the share. For any last thoughts or shares, go ahead. Okay, cool. Katina, would you like to share anything as we're wrapping this up?
I would like to thank everyone, and it's always my prayer that you hear what you need to hear, that we are here. We're, as Alyssa said, we're here on a mission. We're here to promote health and wellness, and many of you that are here support this mission or are on a similar, the same mission, right? And I encourage you to share your takeaways so that they stick with you. Share one or two, however many you want, but please do share with us and then share with someone else.
I
That's
love
all I have.
Yes, I love that. Let's go. I'm going to go into gallery mode. So since we have just a couple more minutes, maybe we'll take a quick photo and then ask for some shares, because Katina is absolutely right. Like, how do we instill the learning is that we share the information that we learned with each other. So let's do a quick photo together real quick. As a group, you can go ahead, give a big smile. Yay, thank you. Woohoo. Yeah. Awesome. And then I'll go ahead and stop the recording.